It's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, it's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, it's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Fourth and one in the clutch. We don't give a what. Punch it in through the gut. Nixon on the rush. It's that Bengals talk.
Facts.
In the jungle with racks. It's that jungle fever. Make them all believe us. Now they think we crazy. Cause it's who they, baby.
Welcome to Jungle Fever, a Bengals podcast, and I'm your host, Brax, with the facts. And today, guys, we got a lot to talk about. But first, I want to congratulate Trey Hendrickson and Jesse Bates for making the NFL Top 100 players. And that's a very good thing, especially for Bates and this contract thing going on. I ain't going to speak on it too much because I already have, but just know the Bengals don't have no room for error, and I hope they get that together. But yeah, big shout out to them. And they did cut 3 players today. They cut a tight end and 2 receivers. Tight end was Pro Wells, receiver Reese Horn and Riley Lees. As y'all know, guys, it's going to be way more cuts. We're down to 85. It's going to be more and more cuts after each preseason game. So just be looking out for that. And let's dive into it. So defense looked really, really tough, especially our starting lineup. They was out there for a few possessions, and they looked good. The defense line is going to wreak havoc on this league if they can stay healthy. Joseph Asai, he got a sack on Brady. Then he fractured his wrist, but he had tons of pressure before. But look for him to be back this year. I mean, maybe week 1, week 2. But I wouldn't even push it for week 1. Let's just go with week 2. Hopefully he heals fast. But you can also play with a cast. That's why I said maybe give him week 1. I mean, that's what, 4 weeks from now. You got on that defensive line, which he didn't play, you got Larry Ojanobi. You got DJ Reader, Trey Hendrickson, which I mentioned, Sam Hubbard, Tyler Shelvin. This defense line gonna be something else, and I know it's a few more. I ain't gonna go down the whole list, but just to name a few, there they are, man. They're gonna be tough. Just stay healthy, and they will create some pressure, which our secondary really, really, truly need. Because the more pressure we can create, the better our secondary can perform. And which y'all know, Jesse Bates will take advantage of a quarterback under distress. That's his specialty. And that's what I'm looking forward to, and that's what I was focused on when I looked at the defense. We had some backups that was looking good. Darius Hodge, he had a sack. Joe Bashie looked good. The defense came away with 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, and they looked good. They held off throughout the game, even though it was the backups. But you got to look at this you got to look at the bright side of this. This is why our offense is struggling in training camp, because this defense is really, really good. So they held Tampa Bay to, I think, 29 yards rushing, and like 100 and something yards on the pass. So that was pretty good. If we can just do that in and out, you're going to win games. Just trust me. The offensive line is shaky to me. I was talking to my boy, and he was like, bro, they look improved. Well, they are improved. We got rid of Bobby Hart, and they got a few upgrades. So they are improved, but I'm still worried about that guard spot. Even though Deontay Smith looking great, that's a steal for the Bengals if he turns out to be a starter right this first year. They got him in the fourth round. He's getting reps with the first team today in training camp. Michael Jordan, he got pushed around. He looked better than he did, but he got pushed around. The starters didn't play too much, so I couldn't really evaluate them like I wanted to. But I did notice we didn't give up any sacks. But that wasn't like, I can't really explain it. Like, we didn't give up any sacks because the protection was just outstanding. Brandon Allen scrambled and missing, running around, which that can really help an offensive line, a moving quarterback. But I believe that if we don't fix that guard spot, we will be in trouble. Guys, I've been saying this for the longest, man. We don't have any depth there. We don't have any quality veteran depth that can come and back up anybody. And I don't care about Xavier Sufilio. He ain't all of that. I think they need to let him go and use that money to pick up somebody better. But we're going to keep moving. We ain't going to dwell on that. But overall, the offense kind of shaky to me. Need to work out a few wrinkles. All of our top receivers got to catch. They hit Chase with a screen pass, and it looked good. He looked good. It went for 16 yards, and if he would have broke a tackle, he would have went. He would have went all the way, touchdown. So I like that. I see the burst in him. Tyler Boyd had a catch. T. Higgins had a catch. They look good. Just give them more time, more reps. And, of course, we didn't. Burrow wasn't out there. I don't think we're going to see Burrow, and if we do, like everybody say, it'll be the third preseason game here at home. You know, that'll be a good hyper for the crowd. I know I'll be at that game, and to see Burrow coming out, padded up, I'll be very excited. Feel like I definitely got my money's worth, but I'll be going anyway. Big Bengals fan. Our running backs, they look good. Now, for all y'all that just looking at it like, hey, man, that running back's going to be unstoppable. Y'all got to understand this is preseason, and Jaquise Patrick and Chris Evans, they got the bulk of the reps. And Trayvon Williams stayed home. He's hurt. And unfortunate for him, he didn't get those reps. So he has to heal up and get the play in these next two games, or I'm going to put him on that bubble list. I'm sorry, man, but these guys look good. And then it's not the type of yardage that y'all would love to see, like a 10-yard break here and a 10-yard, 20-yard break there. I think all game, the offense only had like 3 or 4 plays of 20 yards and more. So they got to fix that. Like I said, there's wrinkles to be fixed out. But overall, I enjoyed it. I was just loving to see football back. And couldn't wait to get in here and talk to you guys. So I think Trayvon Williams, hopefully he can play the next game. He can show him that he needs to be on this roster. If not, man, Jaquise Patrick, the way he grinded it out those last 4 minutes, wearing out that defense was wonderful. Even though he was going up against 3s and 4s, still, just to have that mentality. And Chris Evans, he's good. He's good. I know he only had like 25 yards, but still it was at pivotal times, like the third down and the rush on the one. Mixon had 1 touch. I would love to see a little bit more of Mixon. But I see what they was doing. They're trying to iron out this O-line, so they got to see what they had. That's why they have Deontay Smith practicing with the ones today. And they even had Michael Jordan in there practicing with the ones. They had Quentin Spain practicing with the twos. Not saying he's not the starter, but they got to see what they had. They got to get this together. And I respect them for that. But overall, I think if I had to rank the offense as a grade, I give them a C+. This preseason game, it's hard to evaluate these things when they switching in players and just calling plays based on players to see, because the coach is evaluating players themselves, and the coaches is also seeing what plays work and also seeing what scheme works. So it's not really a set base, so it's hard to really evaluate these things. But overall, I felt like they did a great job. We got to win over the Super Bowl champions. We take those W's any way we can. And Darius Phillips, those returns looked pretty good. But like everybody say, man, that's that inconsistency he has. He flashes and then it's like, where did he go? But hopefully, this is just the beginning. This is still has plenty more practices, plenty more cuts. So it's going to be definitely a battle at that running back position coming up. So keep an eye on that. And keep an eye on that offensive line. Y'all see that they didn't give up any sacks. But like I said, it was still shaky. Michael Jordan was the pressure. They gave up a lot of pressures. Just, Brandon Allen was on the move. So that's what I want to talk to y'all about. And before I get up out of here, y'all know what it is. Who Day, baby?